Salut French students, welcome to video 4, video 4 du chapitre 3. So video 4 of chapter 3. So in this video you'll see we'll be talking about different items dans le salon, so in the living room or the den, whatever you happen to call it in English. Okay, dans is the preposition or kind of the location word that we would use to talk about being inside something. Okay, so the question that they're asking us here, and the question uses inversion. So if this were a statement, it would be vous avez beaucoup de choses. You have, we'll be learning this verb in our next video, the verb avoir, which means to have. So vous avez, you have, beaucoup de choses. Choses are things, so many things. And when we invert vous and avez and say avez-vous, it becomes a question. So avez-vous beaucoup de choses? So do you have a lot of things? Moi, j'ai. Me, personally, j'ai means I have. So again, we'll be learning more about avoir in our next video, but that's a little sneak peek of a couple of forms of the verb avoir. Okay, so in this living room, we see a number of items we might see in anybody's house. Some of them, though, are a little bit outdated. We'll come to those in just a second. But une lampe is going to be a lamp. That should be pretty obvious. They look very similar between our two languages. Un tableau would be a painting. Un canapé is a sofa or couch, depending on what you call it in English. I call it a couch, but I'm from the Midwest, so it could be different in the South. Let's see, un fauteuil. The pronunciation is a little bit tricky for this one. Un fauteuil. Un fauteuil. So it's like an armchair. Okay, un chat. A cat. Un chat. Une plante. A plant. Un chien. A dog. Okay, so many of us have a cat or a dog in our house. And the dog is on top of un tapis. A rug. Okay, une table looks almost just like we would see it in English. We just change up the pronunciation a little bit. Une chaise is a chair. Une télé or une télévision, if you wanted to say the entire word. Okay, they also have a couple of technology terms here, like une chaîne hi-fi, which would be stereo, but I'm not sure how many people use stereos now. I don't have one in my house, so I don't know if a lot of people do anymore. Un lecteur CD or DVD. I know I don't use CDs anymore. I think most of us probably stream our music or go on YouTube for it. Or un lecteur DVD, Blu-ray et des DVD. We might still watch some movies that way. I guess if you were to get them from the library, you could watch them with a Blu-ray player or a DVD player. But I think we definitely need to update our vocabulary for the streaming age for Netflix. But we might still use some of those machines. Okay, so again, dans le salon, chez Robert. Okay, so chez is at Robert's place, and that again would be another preposition. On this slide, we're going to see lots of prepositions. Prepositions are mainly like words of location. They show where something is located, where someone or something is located. So chez Robert would be at the home of Robert. Tout est en ordre et bien rangé. So everything is in order and well organized. Bien rangé just means well arranged or well organized. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? What is there? Okay, so we can begin right here with devant la fenêtre. Devant means in front of. So in this case, in front of the window. Sur la table. There's even a store, a cooking store that has that name, I think. Sur la table means on top of the table. Sur is on top of something, or above even. À côté du portable. Portable is a cell phone, so à côté du means next to, like on the side of or next to. En face du canapé. The canapé is over here. En face means across from. Et entre la table et le fauteuil, between the table and the armchair. Entre just means between. Sous le canapé. Sous means under. So the rug is underneath the couch. So under or underneath. Et à droite du canapé. À droite means to the right. So to the right of the couch. Derrière le canapé, you might already be familiar with the word derrière. Sometimes in English, people use it to talk about their behind, their bottom, in kind of a funny way. But here, of course, it just means behind the couch. À gauche du canapé is to the left of the couch. So this desk is to the left of the couch. Okay, so these are all the things, or all the directions or locations of items we might see in a living room. And finally, we can also talk about les effets personnels, so personal belongings. Les effets would be like belongings. So we can talk about vêtements, okay, beaucoup de vêtements. And you might notice that vêtement looks a little bit like vestment. A vest is an article of clothing, or vestment I know is what a priest wears in the Catholic Church, so it's a type of clothing. So you can kind of see the relationships there. Beaucoup de vêtements, so many clothes. Un vélo. Okay, a lot of you, or several of you, looked at cycling as your sport for the mini project, the project 3. So you would call that un vélo, a bicycle. Okay, un téléphone portable, un smartphone. Okay, so probably most people wouldn't use the full term there. They would just call it un portable without téléphone. Okay, we also have une voiture, so a car. Un ordinateur portable, so un ordinateur would be a computer, and then if you add portable to it, you have a laptop. And finally, une console de jeu, so a game console. Okay, so in this particular video, we have learned a little bit about different items inside of a living room, inside of our homes. We've learned about how those things are organized and how they're arranged, the different locations of those items, and finally some things that belong to us personally, our own personal belongings. Okay, so we'll stop there for this time, and I'll see you again for video 5, video 5.